Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. You know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 9-to-5s, but we are still married to the games. 108. That's right. Keeping it moving. It's your boy Gabe Patillo with Tim Router and Timothy Hall, of course. And as always, we are talking games and life and games. Thank you so much for being here. Whew. That's all I got.
That's it. Good night, everybody. It's been a great podcast. 108
Appreciate it.
In the bag.
Well, that's Tim Router.
Yes.
That's Timothy Hall. And we are married to the game. We about this thing.
We're
Oh, man. I am struggling this morning.
Tell us about it, brother. You're starting again. We're doing it two weeks in a row. You
Oh,
start.
shoot. I'm not ready for that. I don't even know what I'm doing with my life anymore.
All right, good.
I'm just
Hall,
kidding.
back to you.
Oh, come on, Gabe. Yours is the most interesting. Let's go.
Yeah,
let's
that's
go.
not true. Oh, man. It's been the most boring. That's the problem. It started off with somebody so boring. I went to the 45th annual Dove Awards last night. It's Christian music's version of the Grammys.
Yep.
And it was a good time, and it all came together, and the place was seemingly packed. And
Where did they host it?
The Allen Arena at Lipscomb University.
Oh, nice.
Here in Nashville. Bart Millard, I think that's how you say his last name.
Yeah,
from
I think so.
Mercy Me and Lecrae hosted it, and they were hilarious. Like,
that's awesome.
It felt like Dove Awards of old. Like for those of us that have been around the industry for a while, the Doves kind of, there was this whole thing, GMA week, that was built up around it. It all culminated at the Dove Awards. And it used to be really fun. And then the downturn of the economy happened, and, kind of as went that, the Dove Awards and kind of things got pushed to the side. A lot of people in the entertainment field felt the downturn because, ticket sales were down, and so, but it was really cool, man. And it was really good and funny, and we laughed, and there was a lot of music, and, they only give away, I want to say, like 7 awards in the night.
Yeah.
But, there's so many performances, and the hosting is funny. And so everything went good. And so,
did you guys perform? You guys didn't perform.
No, this was my first time going, I think, to the Doves in 15 years that I wasn't doing something.
Wow.
Every other year we've either performed or I've just skipped it.
Well, you got to give it up for your mom because she produces that.
That's
she?
what I'm saying. Yeah, my mom's at the helm, and so I look at it a little bit more critical than maybe other people. And
she's awesome.
I still thought it was good. Yeah, she still killed it. So I was so proud of her. And she had walked by one part of the show, and I said, how do you feel like it's going? I was like, I feel like it's going really well. She was like, I think it's going good too. I get to actually pay everyone. And so I was like, that's good, because last year they had so much trouble, and not like they didn't pay everybody, but it wasn't like check in hand as everybody was leaving. It was right. Hey, give me a call on Monday. We'll talk about that. Talk about that check.
Exactly.
And so
she's writing out IOUs as people are leaving.
Exactly.
7th award is given out. They're like, man, why are all these awards going to Gabe?
Exactly.
Female Artist of the Year.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Album of the Year, You Don't Know My Pain, The Chubby Ninja. I'm like, oh, thank you.
Don't know my pain.
I'd like to thank
Song
the Academy.
of the Year, Dragonborn. The Chubby Ninja.
I Got My Dragonborn by Chubby Ninja.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man, it was a good time, and I'm exhausted just from being out. And then, so on the game front, I don't know why, and I text Hall about this. All of a sudden, I've fallen down this Hearthstone.
Oh, no. You've been
rabbit
affected
hole.
by it, too?
You're done.
What the heck? Like, every moment I can steal away. I'm like, I got to go to the bathroom again. My stomach is just
You're
acting
eating more
up.
fiber.
Exactly. Whoo, my stomach is acting up.
Oh, that's amazing.
Man, babe, is your stomach acting up? What did we eat?
I'm going to grab my iPad. I'll be right back.
Yeah, exactly. And so, man, I've been playing the mess out of Hearthstone, and it's not like my character's, level is super higher. I think I'm at level 16 or something, but it was nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
or like, 4 or 5 days ago. So I don't know what made me start it up all of a sudden, but I'm really enjoying it. And I was getting my butt just kicked the first couple times I was playing, but I didn't know that you could put together your own deck. So I was just like playing with whatever they gave me. And so now that I've made my own deck, the tides have turned.
Nice. Now you're whipping fools.
Taking it to folks.
Nice.
But while we're talking about it, Hall, you got any tips for a brother?
At this point, honestly, since so much information is out there, like I would recommend getting a deck made, like going to there's like a couple websites. I think Icy Veins is the one that I might have gone to recently.
Okay.
But basically just put a recommended deck together and then kind of add your touch to it. Because so many people are doing that now that if you don't, it's kind of hard to compete at this point.
Yeah. And you do the ranked games or just all the casual games?
I always do the ranked.
Are they better?
Casual, you're probably more likely to run into people with better cards in casual, I would think, because it doesn't it doesn't like match you up based on rank. I mean, when you start out, like you're in the 20s, and most of the time you're going to be in the 20s with other beginners.
Okay.
Once you start to get up in level, like I've been up to, I don't know, like 15 or so. Yeah, it really starts to get hard because you've got all the people who've spent money and they have just ridiculously good cards.
Does it open up more cards or anything like that as you get
as you level up? As you level up, you get more standard cards for your character.
Right.
But as you get those card packs, you start to get legendary cards, and I haven't like the legendary cards can go in place of standard cards. So honestly, they're preferred.
Yeah.
However, if you don't pay, which I've never paid for a deck in the game, like you don't really get. I think
you don't get the high quality legendary cards.
Yeah, you really don't, because I've
you got to pay
got
to play.
like a ton of cards. Like I played that game so much and got so many cards, and I think I've only gotten like 2 legendaries ever.
Oh, okay.
So they say like once you pay, you start to get more. So.
And then what character do you play as?
I play as the mage because I just full on attack. So I don't do any defense at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So basically, like from the beginning, I'm just attacking. I've literally beat people in like 5 turns just by attacking.
That's awesome.
So you have to. Honestly, my suggestion is to play a character that matches your play style. So like the mage is, if you only want to attack, play the mage.
I play the shaman.
Yeah, he's I think he's kind of like a middle of the road character because you can do a lot of defensive stuff, and also too you can just summon a lot of totems.
Yeah,
so that you have like a bunch of built up magic powers going on in the background. Some totems will like heal things every turn. Some will defend you. So it's just a mix of all different kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so I'm liking that. It's been real fun. I didn't expect it to snatch me up in the way that it did, but yeah, it's really fun.
That's how it happens, man. Because that's how it happened to me. Like I downloaded it and started playing it, and I was kind of just awestruck by how much I wanted to play it.
Yeah, it's weird. And then of course got some Destiny in earlier this week. I think I'm still I think I was level 25 last week. I think I'm still level 25, but I'm like right on the cusp of being level 26. It's just getting harder now because I need Ascension somethings and Spirit Blooms to upgrade I would be level 26, but you got to go farm some stuff, and it's just not as prevalent as you would want it to be.
Okay.
Once you get up in the higher level.
Anytime you say farm, I'm just like...
Yeah. I know. Seriously.
Collect these moon shards or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Collect 20 moon shards to get your thing.
So hard. Yeah.
So does that game do any kind of, like, if you say I think I'm like level 10. So say if we were to play together, does it do any kind of matching, or would I have to get up to your level first?
It depends on what level you want to do. Some levels, like some things you have to be level 22. Like I think the Queen's missions, like you can't do unless you're level 22. But like if we're going through the story, I can do whatever with you, and I think you could do whatever with me, as far as the story goes.
Yeah,
But,
I think on the story stuff, on the bounty stuff, you have to have some sort of level, don't you? Like they usually match you, give or take, plus 2 or 3
I don't know.
up or down levels.
Depending on
that's
where
not
you
true.
are in this.
That's
Yeah, I
not
don't
true
think
at all.
so. But I think where you are in the story depends on like, stuff like if the Crucible's open to you yet, which is really early, but like,
Yeah.
I know you can't just jump into the Crucible from Jump Street. You know what I'm saying? You can't just like power the game on first time playing it and be like, I'm gonna go do multiplayer like you can in Call of Duty.
Right.
I got destroyed in multiplayer. I went to play one match because it kept like asking me to, and
Yeah,
I was like,
it's
"This
not
is
fun.
no fun."
Yes,
It's not at all.
fun. At that low of a level with those weapons, you're like, ugh. I mean, it's bad, real bad.
Well, it's like it put me in a match, and I was the only person there under level 20. I was like,
Yep.
"Well, I'm up out this thing. Peace."
That's right. See you later.
Exactly, and not just under level 20, level 10.
Yeah, it was bad.
Router,
Sir.
what you got going down?
Oh man, there's all kinds of stuff going down. We'll start with the good stuff.
Yeah, please.
Before we recorded our podcast, there was a lunar eclipse out. So I texted the boys before we started and said, hey, if you're interested and you want to be a real geek, walk outside and you'll see a full lunar eclipse. And
Yes.
right as soon as I texted that to you, a cloud came and covered up the moon. I'm like, come on. But it finally opened back up, and it's a beautiful early morning here in Tennessee, and the stars were out again, and there's a lunar eclipse today.
What
So
a
that was
horrible night for a curse.
cool. Yeah, that would suck.
I know. That's what I was wondering. I was like, so what is like Dracula and the werewolves? Like, what do all those guys
What do they do? I think
during
they
the lunar eclipse?
I think it's probably like a timeout, like halftime. Like, okay, everybody chill out for a second until the moon comes back in.
They like each other.
There's like a flag on the field or something. I don't know. There's
Tea and crumpets.
That's right. They just all take it's a break. It's a union break. It's a Monsters union break. That's what it is.
Monsters Union break.
So I haven't played Destiny since Saturday. My dear father-in-law. Well, on Sunday we went pumpkin picking over at Gentry Farms, which is this really great 500-acre farm. They have it's a cattle farm. It's still a working farm. It's a cattle farm, and they also have all these different crops. And of course, they do pumpkins, and you can actually go and pick your own pumpkins from their patch. They do hay rides and corn mazes and the whole nine. So Piper had a ball. We met up with my brother-in-law and my nephew DJ, and it was a lot of fun. We had a good time, and we were also supposed to go down to their house for dinner after we had picked up all of our pumpkins, came back and put them up by the house, and then went down there. Get a call from my mother-in-law saying, hey, I'm taking your father-in-law to the ER. He is got massive stomach cramping, and he's just throwing up like 5 or 6 times already, but nothing's coming up. So Sunday we go to Williamson. Sunday night we're at the Williamson ER. They do a CAT scan on him. They're like, I think we're going to take you up to Vanderbilt. And so he gets an ambulance.
That's not good.
No, I was like, oh, okay. So they're thinking there's something in the intestine. There's either blockage or something's not right there. So we all kind of, Mom goes with him up in the ambulance. We take our cars. We kind of rally. My dear parents came over to the house and put Piper to bed, which was great. So Lauren and her brother and me, we went up. We drove up to Vanderbilt and then hung around and waited for them to give any assessment. And then at 2:00 in the morning, they decide to open him up.
What?
Because they found some dead. His part of his large intestine was dead, like completely dead. There was no blood flow going to that part of the intestine. So they took out about 12 inches of his large intestine.
Whoa.
And it's that kind of stuff is serious. My niece actually had that as well when she was 3. Her small intestines had twisted, and when that happens, there's no blood or oxygen that gets to them, so they go dead. And what can happen is it can burst, and then you could go septic, which means you're basically infected, and then that's not good at all. So, and that's a very life-threatening situation. So, he was in a lot of pain, and they were like, I'm really surprised that he wasn't in more pain because that part of the intestine was completely dead. So,
Like for how long? Like does that just
it was
does it
about
just die?
6 hours that it basically had cut out. So, what ends up happening is we ended up staying the entire night, and we didn't leave until about 6 a.m. or so. And he's doing great. He's in recovery now at ICU. The issue is that he has a lot of blockage in a lot of his arteries. When they opened him up, they called it disease in the arteries. So, which basically means that you get those little. Basically, your artery tubes are starting to get clogged with calcium deposits or what have you. And so he has a lot of that throughout his body, and he didn't throw any type of a blood clot, they think, which is what typically happens. You throw a clot in whatever area that is, and that area usually dies fairly quickly. But because of this, basically what's going to end up happening is he just needs to exercise more and start eating better. But he doesn't really eat that bad to begin with, and he's been trying to walk every once in a while. But now basically they said, hey, we just need him to really get on top of more exercise and get that blood flow going because it could happen again down the road. And he said, thankfully, it happened in an area that's fixable and not as bad. If it was anywhere in the brain or anywhere else,
it'd have been a wrap.
It could have in the lungs. It could have been really bad. So we were very fortunate, very blessed that it happened. It basically was a warning saying, hey, you need to get out there and exercise more and get that heart pumping. He's now 70 years old. So, but he's doing well and things are good. The silver lining in all this is as we were waiting, I brought my iPad and I marathoned the crap out of The Walking Dead season 4, which is kind of creepy watching The Walking Dead in a hospital. But
right,
but
as they're
taking
pulling
dead
intestines
stuff
out on TV.
yeah, as they're pulling intestines,
Exactly.
it actually was weird and fitting, kind of all at the same time.
Right, you were like, I hope the doctors aren't doing this with their teeth.
Exactly. I hope that's not happening. But I'm amazed.
Like on this show,
the surgeons are great. Everyone at Vanderbilt, Vanderbilt's one of the top hospitals in the country, and so they have really good staff. There were Dad said there were 6 or 7 surgeons that were right there, and they spent about 2 hours with him opened up, and just it's kind of like rearranging plumbing. It's just weird. They cut out this foot long part of his intestine and then tie it all back in together and staple him back up, and now he's going to be in the hospital probably for another 5 days. So they said probably about a full week of recovery in the hospital because they want to monitor you, and the intestines take a little time to heal up and start flowing again. And so he hasn't been able to eat anything. He's on an IV. He can't have solid foods for a while. But so it was a little stressful, and I felt bad for my mom. She was just a little thrown back by it all. But
yeah, your mother-in-law.
Yes, sorry, my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
But everybody rallied and it was great. And he's like every day that we've seen him in the hospital, he gets remarkably better. So he's in good hands, and that was my excitement. So needless to say, I haven't played a ton of games.
Wow.
Going on. I have played some Destiny and some Mario Kart. I think I'm at level 16 or 17 on Destiny now, and still really loving that game. And Mario Karting as usual. And Ed keeps texting karting, and of course I'm not there. And I'm like, oh. So one of these days, Ed, we'll get back on and we'll be able to play again. But
there you go.
Yeah. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell. So it's been crazy, but it's good now. Everything's.
Well, I'm glad he's okay.
Down.
Gracious.
Yeah, he's doing a lot better. So now the joke is we're all going to be super thin and super fit by Christmas because we're all going to start eating right.
There you go.
Playing Just Dance.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
We'll play some Just Dance and get that going on too. That's a good way.
Yeah, they're gonna get the Just Dance, the Richard Simmons version,
the Zumba version. So yeah,
I want to see you sweat. Oh, brother.
Oh, so that's it. That's it for me, Mr. Hall. Talk to us. Tell us about your week.
Man, I wish there was more to say, but there's not much to talk about. Krista and I are really hammering away on this business full time.
Great.
And by full time, I mean more than 40 hours, but
oh, yeah.
we're loving it.
Right.
So
Are you giving yourself time and a half? You should be paying yourself time and a half for anything over.
Well, I mean,
overtime.
We're doing, I mean, surprisingly well. So the
awesome.
The outreach, our initial outreach for clients was fared out much better than we expected. So we're just enjoying it.
Nice.
Getting time to do a lot of things that we didn't used to get to do. So
that's great.
There you go.
That's what it's all about, man.
Like play Hearthstone.
Playing a ton of Hearthstone in the bathtub.
Surprisingly, I am playing no Hearthstone now.
So, oh, wow.
Yeah, I just haven't. I don't want to say it's not that I haven't had time. I guess it's just that I feel like I've kind of gotten the deck that I wanted. So I don't really play it anymore because it's like I don't feel like I'm working towards a goal or improving. You know what I mean?
So it's just become boring to you.
Yeah, because there's just no more progression. Like I was
going to say, there's no more room for improvement, but if you pay to play, you probably could.
Yeah, like basically, it's gotten to the point where I was like, yeah, I'd like another legendary card maybe to fill this one spot, but like all of these newer cards that I get, like I just cannot think of a place where I would put them in the deck. And
so
the decks are always limited. Like they're, you're only allowed to have 30 cards. So once you've kind of honed up that deck and built up a strategy, it's like after that, if the strategy's working, it's like there's not much more to change.
Yeah, if you go on cruise control for too long, you probably are like, all right, I'm done with this.
Yeah, and granted, it took me a really long time to get there. So like now I'm just kind of like, but I did get to play some Destiny this week while the internet was working.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good.
I hopped on the other night, and I think I played for like 3 hours straight, so it was working great. But yesterday, I was at my first client for the day yesterday, and Krista texted me and said, "Yeah, the internet's not working." And this is like an everyday thing. And
what the heck?
I came home. I got home at I think maybe 12:30. Got on the phone with Comcast, was on the phone for over an hour, and still nothing resolved. Our internet didn't come back until maybe 5, so we lost almost a whole day of work.
Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh.
And I was telling him on the phone, I was like, this is beyond unacceptable. I was like, this is unbelievable.
Paul's on the phone with him like, is Wayne Brady going to have to choke an ISP?
I mean, I just couldn't believe it because we've had Comcast for a while, and I've always I've always had a love-hate relationship with them because in some places that we've lived, it works great, and just ever since we moved into this house, it has been spotty like crazy. And the funny thing was, and I mentioned this to Krista, I said, we were never home between the hours of 9 to 5, so this could have been going on for a long time.
Yeah,
and we just didn't know.
Exactly.
Man, I hate to say it, but at that point, you probably have to get in the car and go somewhere, which is, I know, a horrible inconvenience. But if that stuff keeps happening, you don't want to lose that time.
Well, it's getting there. I mean, we only live like we literally live in walking distance to a Starbucks and driving distance. Like I'm talking like 2 to 3 minutes from the Well, which is down, just down the road from here, and they have great internet.
Sure.
So,
yeah, man,
like if we need to, we'll do it, but I'll send the bill to Comcast.
Exactly. You want to be able to freaking have internet in the comfort of your own home, for crying out loud.
Well,
I mean, as much as it is gracious.
Yeah, I mean,
it's true.
I don't. Granted, maybe they're just doing this to get me to leave because we don't pay a lot for our internet and TV bundle. I got on this bundle, and I know I've mentioned this before. I got on this bundle like years ago, and they've kept me on it where it's like $55 a month for cable and internet.
What?
So you getting that discounted cable is what you're getting.
Yeah, it's really good. So I imagine at this point they're like, all right, we need to get rid of this guy. Just to show the wires a little bit, I dropped off this call and had to switch to my cell phone.
Exactly.
So
maybe
gives you an idea. It went down like 20 minutes into the show.
Yep.
Yeah, it did. But Hall's a professional.
That's right.
All right, router.
I got it.
You got it?
I got it.
Well, let's do it.
right, new releases this week. It's the one that we've been talking about before. Alien Isolation is now out and
Lord
about.
have mercy.
Xbox One, PS4, PS3, Xbox 360. So I hear it's good. It's very suspenseful. Graphically, it looks great. So
I played it at E3.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious.
It's freaking spooky.
Nice.
Does it require an internet connection?
I do not believe so. So Hall, go get you some Alien Isolation.
Exactly.
Also out, NBA 2K15, PS4, PS3, Xbox One, Xbox 360, and PC is out.
Oh yes, I just finished my season on 14, just in time.
And how did you do?
Oh, I freaking won the finals, baby! Come on.
Well, there you go. Of course.
Well, you always win the finals. Did you go undefeated?
No, I mean not even close. I did it pretty standard. Like I think there was only twice where I turned the game off because I felt like, come on, game.
Oh, nice.
That's ridiculous. But I definitely lost probably 20 something games, and it came down to game 7. Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I did the your own career thing, so you're only controlling one player, and so he's awful at first. Yeah, I mean not awful, but he's not great, and
That's
so
awesome.
you gotta do your thing.
Hey, chubby
Work it
ninjas don't just start out great.
That's right.
Exactly. You don't think come on now? Everybody knows that.
So when you do like season mode, do you get your own shoes at some point?
All that. Yeah.
That's so
sweet.
cool, man. That's a trip.
It's cool. Yeah, you get all kind of endorsements, and they'll show you up on the billboard and everything. And 2K15, for those that are interested, has a new like face mapping thing where you can really put your face in there, and it actually works really good, and it also actually works really bad. And so I've seen like ones that look exactly like the people, and then I've seen things that look exactly like a demon.
It's one or the other.
it's you're gonna get one or the other, and sometimes people might not have they don't know the truth about their faces, and so you might get somebody and be like, "That's not me," and your friends come over like, "Oh my gosh, look, that's exactly you in this game."
You're like, oh,
You're like, wait a second, I don't have a hook nose. You're like, yes, you do.
That's awesome. All right, moving on. Styx, Master of Shadows for the PC and PS4. And then we got a couple Xbox One exclusives. Project Spark Starter Pack for the Xbox One and PC.
Nice.
Dance Central Spotlight with Kinect for the Xbox One.
Yeah, exactly.
Dead Rising 3 Apocalypse.
I want to see that game. I want to see that game bought by like the people don't really know what's going on. It's like they just bought their Connectless Xbox One, but they really wanted the dancing game.
Right.
Like, why is this not working?
Why is he standing there?
Gosh, come on, Richard Simmons.
You as Richard Simmons?
Exactly. They just have a floating fro like following your head around.
That's right. Also for Xbox One, Dead Rising 3 Apocalypse Edition.
Oh, nice.
And then Sleeping Dogs, the definitive edition, is out for the PC, Xbox One, and PS4.
Oh, that was fast.
Ooh.
So they turned that around real quick.
Yeah, it was like rumored and it was like out.
Yep.
Right. Let's go cuss somebody out.
Yeah. And then speak Mandarin to them. It'll be great.
Yeah, if you don't know how to cuss at people,
Just you'll
go
pick
play
up some,
Sleeping Dogs.
Exactly. You'll pick up some swear words in Mandarin. It'll be great.
Oh my gosh.
And you'll pick up a lot of them.
Yeah, I'm like, who talks like this?
Rated T for teen. All right, let's move on. Top selling games. This is week of September 27th. U.S. charts, brick and mortar stores only. Number 10.
Third week of Destiny being out.
That's right. Number 10, Destiny for the PS3.
Number 10.
Number 10.
That's a fall off for the fall off, boy.
That's right. Number 9, Disney Infinity 2.0 Marvel Superheroes for the Xbox 360 debuts at number 1.
I was about to say, yeah, debut.
Number 9. Number 8, FIFA 15 for the PS3 makes their debut.
Huh.
Number 7, Destiny for the Xbox 360.
Really?
Number 6, FIFA 15 for the Xbox One makes its debut.
Interesting.
Number 5, Destiny for the Xbox One. Number 4, out of nowhere, Wii U Hyrule Warriors debut.
Nice.
There
we go.
4. There you go. Number 3, FIFA 15 for the Xbox 360.
Oh, weird.
Number 2, Destiny for the PS4, which means number one for that week. FIFA 15 for the PS4. Everybody gets their soccer on.
Nice.
And guess what?
No Minecraft. Yes.
Wow.
It's funny because when you said Destiny number 10, I was like, no, Minecraft on
That's right.
Xbox
Minecraft.
360 has beat out Destiny on the
PS3.
charts.
Yeah, no, it was actually close though. FIFA 15 debuted at with 118,000 units sold. Destiny for the PS4 was 115,000 units. So
Oh, wow.
just a 3,000 unit difference.
I want to recount.
That's there's no broken, or what were they? Broken Chads or hidden Chads or whatever there was.
Yeah, I don't remember what that was.
Hanging Chads.
Hanging Chads.
That's right.
Good job.
Stupid. Yeah, so there you have it. There's your charts and your new releases.
Hall, give us something.
Oh boy, Resolutiongate came back.
Yeah, with a Call of Duty. Well, no,
Assassin's Creed Unity.
Assassin's Creed Unity.
Basically, Ubisoft
It's not going
came
to get
out.
there.
Ubisoft came out and
Ubisoft.
said that they wanted to have parity on both platforms, the Xbox One and the PS4.
Yep.
Both versions of Assassin's Creed Unity will be locked at 900p.
Yep, not going to make it there.
That's still a lot of P's. But
900p, 30 frames per second, right? Isn't that the
yep,
lock?
that's it.
Oh, not even 60 frames?
No.
No.
Not even
Which-
for the single player campaign?
No.
Yeah, and honestly, that kind of makes sense to me
Boo.
because most of the games were 30 frames, right?
Yeah.
I mean, almost all.
Yeah,
of them.
I think so. But you know what it is? They've really expanded the landscape, as well as there's a ton of AI for crowds. So that is probably the reason, in my estimation. I mean, I gotta say,
That
I'm getting a
makes
little nervous about Unity. I'm hoping
Uh-oh.
it's not going to be like Assassin's Creed 3, where, we were so excited for it. I'm a little nervous for it. Of course, I still want to play it. I mean, I love this time of year because it's like fall, and every fall I'm playing some sort of Assassin's Creed game. But yeah, I'm a little nervous about this one. But what's beautiful is that I got Far Cry 4 right around the corner too. So
Oh yes.
if it starts to suck, I may just switch gears.
There you
Which
go.
totally goes against my gaming nature, because I'm a completionist and I want to finish a game before getting into another one. I never like to swap out midstream. So hopefully this isn't a big turd and I have to do that. So we'll see.
Yeah,
But
it
yeah.
was,
We'll see.
Well, it was funny because Ubisoft said they wanted to create parity for the game so that they could avoid debate.
I respect that. I mean,
Well, it created debate.
Right, of course it did. Of course it did, because everyone's saying, well, this console can definitely do it. It can handle it. But my question is, how long can it handle it? If this is what it takes to make it at least consistent, I'm fine with that, because no one's really going to know that much of a difference.
Well, and everybody sits about 5 to 10 feet back anyway.
Right.
So what do
I'm
they
not,
care?
I'm not going to be right up by the screen, doing this, and I'm perfectly fine with it.
Exactly.
Counting your P's.
I remember that time we came over and we watched you play Assassin's Creed 3,
Yep.
and you couldn't see any of the jaggies or anything like
Nope.
that. It looked fine.
Nope.
And
It's
that was
nothing like-
way back when.
And it's nothing like Telltale when you get that lag all the time. That was bothering me during The Wolf Among Us quite a bit.
Yeah, I
actually.
can't wait till the PS4 versions of that stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be so fluid. But yeah, you know what? If that creates, consistency across consoles, then that means it's a better game experience for everybody, and I'm totally fine with that.
There you go.
I mean, it's going to run better too. I mean, that's
Yeah.
one thing that people forget. When you lock the frame rate to something a lot less than what a console is capable of, 30 frames being half the speed of what they did the last game for PS4.
Yeah.
The game's just going to be a more consistent experience.
Right. You say it's 960?
It's
900.
900 Ps.
Oh, just 900?
Just
Yeah.
900.
Most games last gen were like 720 or less, so this doesn't bother me at all.
Nope, not at
I
one
know,
bit.
but it's not last gen no more.
That's right.
Kind of how I feel. It's okay, though.
Are you saying
all
we
the-
hung last gen's jerseys up?
Exactly. I've been retired.
They're retired.
I hung up my 720p jersey.
Exactly.
And all of our PC gamers are like, they're like, we got this. We got this.
They were like, you guys know, I'm playing in 12K.
Right.
I'm like, oh, shut up.
On a curved TV, on
Exactly.
a curved flat screen. I'm
Like, and
good.
you're also vegan.
And with a handlebar mustache.
Exactly. And couldn't beat me in arm wrestling if you wanted to.
I got tats, baby. I got tats.
Because lettuce don't make muscles. All right.
Beef makes muscles.
Exactly. Chubby Ninja versus a celery stalk.
Who's going to win?
Exactly. You might be able to run uphill faster.
Finish him.
Exactly. But I'm definitely going to roll down quicker than you. Okay. So last week we talked about the movie Tetris being made, which everybody's just looking so forward to.
Oh, yeah.
Different news. This is for us old school guys. The classic point and click puzzler Myst is getting a television show. And
Lord.
I think it's awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
It could be cool.
All right.
It could be cool because they have.
It could be.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
saying
mean,
it is going to be.
Well, no, like they brought
could
Myst
be.
back. They did real Myst, like the better version of Myst, basically. And it's still
Yeah.
not there. If they did a TV show, it might be better.
So
And it's being. I think is it being done by? No, it's not
Yeah.
being done by those guys. Never mind.
What network is it going to be on?
Legendary TV, is that what they're called?
Yeah, It's Legendary Pictures TV company.
Yes.
Okay.
And so they'll also have a game, of course, that'll come out, which will coincide. And we're not sure if it's going to be just digital, like on Cracked or something like that, or actually broadcast television. But I thought that was interesting. When I saw the name, I was like, oh, crap, Myst. I was terrible at that game.
MYST, right?
MYST. That's right.
Wow.
Also, real quickly, let's do the PS Plus. We didn't have it last week.
Oh, yeah.
The free PS Plus games for October 2014. Dust, An Elysian Tale, PS4. Spelunky, Cross-Buy, PS4, PS3, I'm guessing, or PS4 Vita, or I don't know what all it's on, but Cross-Buy maybe for everything. And then Drive Club will be coming soon. I think the physical is out already, but the digital, the free PS Plus one, I don't think is out yet. Pix the Cat for PS4 and Vita. Batman Arkham Asylum.
Ooh.
Go get that. PS3. If you've never played it, go get it. Dungeons and Dragons Chronicles of
Narnia.
Mystara.
Narnia.
Sorry, I had to throw that in there.
PS3. And then Rainbow Moon, PS3 and Vita.
Nice.
So go get you some free games for October. Hall, back to you.
Warner Brothers is bringing the Batcave to Oculus Rift. The 1992 animated series version is coming to Oculus Rift, and you'll be able to walk around it. And it looks pretty weird.
Yeah.
So here's the thing with Oculus Rift.
Yeah. Preach.
Walk around it.
Preach.
What's that mean? You sit on my couch and look around?
Probably. Sit on the couch and move an analog stick.
So here's
Right.
the question, though. Like, I was just having this conversation with a buddy who has an Oculus Rift at home, and he's like developing for it, and that's great. The full immersion that I know, seriously, the full immersion, because you see the thing. Okay, my point that I'm trying to make. See, okay, where I'm coming from is that all right. If you really think about it, exactly. So the problem I'm having is looking behind me. So, will I want to play with the Oculus Rift always standing up? The Oculus Rift is probably not going to be wireless. So it's like,
you're going to get clotheslined.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be like wrapped up in this cord. If somebody breaks into my house, I try to take off in a sprint and fall. And because I got,
Trip.
I'm freaking wrapped up like what are they called? An at what are they called from Star Wars?
Oh, yeah.
And so,
Chicken Walker.
And so that's my only thing. Like when they say, "Oh, you'll be able to look around the XYZ," and you're like, "Will I, or will I only look ahead of me and to the right and the left, and then use the analog stick to turn around,
right?
Then look right and left." Like it just
before
takes
the
all
cord
the magic
wraps around my neck and I strangle myself.
Before I kill myself by a skinny anaconda.
This is something that started as a good idea, but I don't know now.
What, Oculus Rift?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until they're strapping you into a machine I don't
Yeah,
know.
and we've
Yeah.
seen it. We've talked about it early on when people have pieced together like the Omni Walker and like a chest thing and a holding a gun controller and having the Oculus Rift on. Then it kind of made sense, but it looked like a Dave and Buster's piece. It didn't look like something you have in your house.
That makes sense.
It's not for the home. I don't think it's going to be for the home for a while. I'm not sold on it anyway. Still,
Unless you're doing like Minority Report, Johnny Mnemonic kind of like movements with it.
Yeah. Give me the analog sticks, I'll be fine. And
I mean,
give me a wireless controller and an analog stick, and that way nobody gets hurt.
Yeah, and I'm glad that they're doing the Batcave. I guess. What, do you just like download it on your PC and put your Oculus Rift on?
It doesn't say anything about price. I imagine it'll be free because it'll be a promotional tool.
Exactly.
Sure.
But
Sure.
at the same time, it's like they're doing I know they're doing the animated series because it's low tech.
Yeah, I think
Like,
the best
basically
thing,
won't take long.
right? I think the best for me, and I haven't played anything like this, but the best application for Oculus Rift for me would be like a driving something,
That
like
sounds
where
pretty
you're
cool.
like where you're like
That's a good
driving
idea.
fast, or not a stunt driver, but just like that kind of just very fast. Because you think about in your car, you never turn around in your car.
No,
You know
have
what I'm
a
saying?
rearview
You have a
mirror.
rear view mirror and you look out both sides and, maybe
Yep.
something like that. But
Great idea.
thank you.
Great
Copyright,
idea.
Married to the Games.
That's
No, you turn around when you're backing up. Maybe they'll have a driving simulator.
Yeah, but that doesn't require your body to turn around. Is
right.
what I mean.
Just your head.
Like you're always seated. Until they come out with those stand-up cars, those crazy kids. So have you guys heard of, and I shouldn't even bring this up because I've barely any information about it, but it seems like it maybe could be cool if you let your inner dork just run wild. End game, The Calling. It's a novel that's, I'm guessing, out already, about 12 teenagers scattered about the globe, and they're in this high-stakes competition, and, they could die or whatever.
I turned off
Anyway.
when you said teenagers.
Exactly. Well, Hunger Games is teenagers, and that's
Yeah.
a huge phenomena. But Google's Niantic Labs, is that how you say that? Niantic Labs is partnering with the people that did the story to bring to life. So there's going to be other books that come out, hopefully movies. They always hope. But starting the 7th of October, which is a couple days ago, it's like this fully immersive, worldwide, augmented reality game that they've launched. And you can check it out at ancientsocieties.com. And you have like this guide. I don't know what her name is, maybe Stella or something like that.
Stella.
And, yeah. I don't know if she's
Are you
getting her
helping her
groove
get her
back.
groove back? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tay Diggs is like, come on now, man, down to the islands and let's get your groove back. But go check it out. I have no idea kind of what it is, but it looks like me and one of my buddies used to get wrapped up in games that like would call your phone. You know what I mean? And I think we're at a time in history where you can actually pull off this kind of not augmented reality, but just like very connected
Yeah.
kind of game. And so, like I said, I don't have any information about it, but go check it out. Ancientsocieties.com. If Google's a part of it, then it could be cool.
Can't be that bad.
Yeah, exactly. Hall?
Call of Duty Advanced Warfare is going to be cross-buy on PS3 and PS4.
I saw that.
That's pretty
That's great.
interesting.
That's great.
I think that's a good trend, honestly, to get people to make the jump.
Yeah, cross-buy.
It says that they have to. Okay, so the cross-buy offer is available until March 31st. I don't
that's
know if
good.
that means like you need to buy a PS4 before March 31st, or basically you just have to buy your PS3 version before then, and you can
Right.
redeem your download or something.
It's great.
Either way, it's a great trend. If you buy games last gen, it's nice to have them in the next gen when you purchase your new console.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and I'm sure they're banking on this Christmas a lot of people purchasing PS4s anyway. So
Yeah, I'm
exactly.
sure.
That's great. I love that they like. That's the thing with even PS Plus too, and I would imagine games with gold works the same way, where you can, quote unquote, buy these games even if you don't have the console. And so I know I had bought some games on the Vita, or not bought some, but downloaded some free PS Plus games that before I had a Vita. And so when I got a Vita, they were kind of there waiting for me. And
That's cool.
I think that's great.
I didn't do that on PS4, but I should have.
Yeah, you should have.
Whatever.
I think we told you to.
Listen to us.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's great. Also, I think we talked about real quickly the GameCube adapter that's going to, it's the Wii U adapter that's going to let you use your GameCube controllers with the Wii U. They've announced, and I think they might have announced this already, but so we might be a little slow on the uptick, but that the controller is going to be able to be used with whatever controller that the Wii Classic controller can be used for, like the the regular, not the wand, not the Wiimote, but the controller. Right. And so that opens it up to Super Mario Brothers U, Pikmin 3, Mario Kart 8, a bunch of other games. And so as well as Smash Brothers, you can use it for this other library of games. And I thought that was really cool.
I wonder if you like the GameCube controller if you kind of grew up with it.
You know what I mean? I just need a yellow nubby thing around.
Yeah, I'm confused as to why that's a great controller, but
I think it's where people fell in love with Smash Brothers, and I think that GameCube is that version of Smash Brothers must have been a huge hit, just like the one on 64 was, and hopefully I think that's where people feel comfortable. That's how we played it in at E3. We played it with them doggone GameCube controllers, and I was like, "Yep, feels right." So
I tell you what, if they let you plug in your Nintendo 64 controller, I'd be all over that.
There you go.
I didn't know you have 3 hands.
That's the thing. I played Smash Brothers on Nintendo 64, so that's where I'm most familiar with it. And I didn't play it on GameCube. Maybe if I had played it on GameCube, I'd feel differently.
Right. Yeah, but it definitely even though I know the GameCube controller looks like you just put some buttons and colors into a blender, and that's what came out was the GameCube controller. But I think, like you're saying, the nostalgia of using it then, and I think it all works together.
Yeah, and controllers haven't. I want to say that controllers haven't changed too much since then. I mean, the DualShock 4 was probably the biggest leap for Sony. And the Xbox controller, I mean, if you go back to the smaller version of the Duke being the original controller, they had that smaller controller that was it was pretty good. I mean, it felt a lot like the 360 controller did.
Right.
So.
Nice. You got anything else quickly?
The Xbox One launched in China and sold 100,000 in the first week.
Wow.
Nice.
Well done.
It looks like it's the first console to launch in China for 14 years.
Yeah, exactly, because they had that thing going on.
So yeah, that's interesting. People want to play games in China. So
you would hope.
Yeah.
Gracious, they haven't been playing them. That's awesome. I love that. Add it to the numbers, baby. Let's get some more gamers up in this piece. Well, you all out?
Yep.
Every week we ask you guys a question. Last week we asked you what television shows you're watching over on the forum, because guess what? Not on Twitter. Friggin' nutcase, the Reverend Tattoo Trav, The Walking Dead, Boardwalk Empire, Homeland, The Blacklist, American Horror Story, Smurfs, Snorks, G.I. Joe, Tom and Jerry, Voltron. That took a weird turn. I wasn't ready for that.
That took a really weird turn.
But that's awesome. I wonder if that's as good as I remember.
There's no way it is.
I doubt it.
It's funny because I go back and watch old cartoons now because Amara's small, and I'm like, what were they thinking? Mm-hmm. We watched Snow White, and I know Snow White's real old. It's even older than Router.
Oh yeah.
But
just barely though.
Yeah.
Just barely.
But watching it watching a hand-drawn cartoon now, actually hand-drawn compared to what we have now is really weird.
Yes, it is.
When a character's supposed to be holding still, they're still wiggling because it's hand-drawn. And so it's just interesting to see man, these kids are spoiled. I was spoiled in comparison. Tigsta on the forum said Gotham, which I heard is okay. When I met up with the Geeks with Wives guys, they schooled me when I was in Fresno about Gotham. The Walking Dead, The Flash, Arrow, Chopped. NFL football on Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays. Amen to that. Joey
You guys
McPherson,
need to watch Arrow.
I can't.
Yeah, I don't think I will.
You need to.
That'd be me supporting the CW, and it just feels weird.
It is surprising.
Okay.
Did you not watch Smallville?
Yeah, but that was a long time ago when it was the WB, and the WB.
Hey, the letters changing didn't change much, man. It's pretty much the same thing. You just don't remember.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Gosh.
In fact,
I just want to believe that
Arrow's
Smallville was really good. Arrow's better than Smallville?
I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up. I haven't watched
Wait. Arrow's better than Smallville?
I haven't watched Smallville in years, so I'd have to go back and watch it again. But
yeah,
I mean, that's.
You might be right. I bet nostalgia is something else.
Well, and higher production value.
Exactly.
They have better CG now, etc.
I just, I don't know. Superman, you know what I'm saying?
Superman's kind of a boring character if you think about it.
I think that's
your house is gonna get stoned. I mean, you're gonna get bricks through the window.
Me, sir.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, think about it. Like he's all powerful. He has one weakness. He's not really a deep character.
Sure, he is.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's not as complex as Batman or anything.
Yeah, like
right,
Batman's way like. Think about it. If they made a Superman game, what would you do?
They have made
Fly.
Superman games.
Yeah, I mean they have,
just haven't
and
made
they've
them
been terrible.
well. Exactly.
Yeah. They've been terrible, but even if they had Rocksteady making a Superman game, I don't think it'd be near as good as a Batman game.
No, don't say that. I'm gonna sing it for the rest of the day now.
Okay. I see what you're saying, because I've thought about that before. Like, how come I'm getting shot by bullets in this Superman game and the bullets are hurting me?
Yeah, that's kind of a funny thing. Like, if nothing can hurt you, like, how do you make a game out of that?
Exactly.
I mean, does everybody just shoot? Oh no, they're shooting kryptonite bullets.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
it's like a freaking run on kryptonite. Like, it's just so available that they can make them out of bullets now.
Exactly.
And it's not that I don't like Superman either. Like, I grew up with like Superman is my favorite superhero, but like after I don't know, reached teenage years, I was like,
I understand
you need Christian Bale to come along and ruin the voice of Superman before you like it.
Oh gosh.
Maybe if they would have made that Nicolas Cage Superman movie, I would feel different.
Oh no,
that would have probably been so bad. It would have been good.
That would be horrible.
Nicolas Cage.
Ooh,
Go look it up. Nicolas Cage Superman.
Ghost Rider.
Go to Google Images.
There's nothing Superman about that hairline about Nicolas Cage, and I can say that because I'm bald.
In that Superman photo, he has a mullet.
Oh, that's amazing.
They were like I think they were screen testing him or something, because Tim Burton was going to make a Superman movie.
That would be cool.
With Nicolas Cage as Superman. At
like 50, 60 years old?
No, this was like a while ago.
And they rubbed kryptonite on his forehead and his hair fell out? Joey McPherson said, I don't really watch much TV anymore, but I started watching Z Nation on Sci-Fi. It's pretty good so far.
All right.
Last one, Jace Plays Games. Old shows, new season, this fall, New Girl, Mindy Project, South Park, Modern Family, Saturday Night Live, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Castle, Walking Dead, Parks and Rec, Grey's Anatomy.
That's it.
That took a turn after Parks and Rec. I'm just kidding. New shows this fall: Utopia, Gotham, A to Z, Blackish, Red Band Society, and Forever.
Man, TV's never been better, has it?
Oh man, it sure hasn't. Gracious. Thank you for the answers. We appreciate it. You guys know where to find us. Facebook.com/Married to the Games, Twitter.com/MTTGcast. Come to the website. We got shirts for sale. Extra. Read all about it. And what else? You can find us over at that old jamthehype.com, which is pretty fun that we're still doing that. And what else, Hall?
Rate us on iTunes because kryptonite bullets.
Is that him?
Because of kryptonite bullets. All right. Somehow that's probably going to blow
iTunes
somebody's mind. Like,
because
wow, he just got so introspective there.
Kryptonite bullets.
Yep. There you have it.
Just because kryptonite bullets.
Mm-hmm.
What was that game? Adventure? Why? Because something about caves?
Because I don't know.
Because I don't know.
You also could have said because it helps us in ways that Comcast doesn't understand.
Yes. Comcast
Because it
definitely
helps
doesn't
us
get
in
it.
ways that Comcast. Pew.
Comcast.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Helps the ways
Nice.
Comcast go.
Yes, all the internet is on the analog tape now.
Yeah,
There
they
it
are. Yeah, spin up, baby. Spin up, please, for Hall. Router.
Let's do it.
Let's get into some questions.
Awesome. Here we go. Starting with email, Spencer Stapleton. I have recently come back to gaming after a few years hiatus.
Welcome
Woo-hoo!
back.
All right, welcome back. Welcome
Your
back.
dreams are
welcome
your
back.
ticket out.
He said 2 kids under the age of 2 and purchasing a home have kept me away. Yes, they would.
Yeah, exactly.
I know there are a number of titles that I have to pick up on playthrough, including The Last of Us. I went out and bought a PS4 for Destiny, and I've been playing it and loving it so much that
Hopefully
I bought a
he got
PS4.
the white PS4.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. And loving it so much that I bought a PS Vita so I can remote play on my lunch hours.
Oh.
That is awesome. That just knocked it up next level right there.
Yeah, that took it up a notch.
My question is this. Imagine you have been away from games for a few years. Which game would bring you out of semi-game retirement and why?
Ooh, good question.
Very good question. I would say The Last of Us, but you're already going to pick that up. And I say that all the time, but it is. Like I was telling somebody about it as well, and he's actually going to borrow my copy. I said, you just have to play this game because it tells a story and it immerses you in it and you become a part of it. I think that could get you into games. I think on a smaller scale, I think the Telltale games too, if you haven't done it in a while and you just want to ease into something, and once again, I am a story-driven kind of a gamer anyway, but I think that either of the Telltale games, The Walking Dead or The Wolf Among Us, could get you into it because it still tells a story and it still keeps you interactive as well.
And those have gone mobile, and so
Yes.
you might get your toe in the water on that old iPad.
I agree.
Yeah, I was gonna say Call of Duty, even though I know they come out every year, and that's a lame answer, but the hype that usually surrounds Call of Duty, I think Destiny would have done it too.
Yep.
I think I wouldn't have known because it's funny because I played the alpha and the beta and the Charlie, and I don't know that I still I don't think that I still grasped what I thought of it or what I thought it was going to be. So I don't know if they did great marketing on selling me the game outside of the hype being crazy. But
they did for me though, because remember I played the beta and then that next day or two or whatever I went
that's right.
and pre-ordered it. So
yeah, you were like, let's get it.
All hype aside, once you start, I love the fact that they offered it as a beta because once you get into it, then you're like, oh man, this is good.
You're likely to see Call of Duty anywhere. So like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
I think about it and I'm like, Call of Duty brought me back, like way back when, like Call of Duty 2 maybe.
Yeah.
So I think it would be likely to bring anybody. So,
and because the formula hasn't changed, it almost like I feel like you could ask somebody who doesn't play any games what Call of Duty is, and they'd be like, "Oh, like a war game, like
yeah,
you're like
exactly.
running around with a gun and shooting stuff." You're like, right,
yep, that's pretty much it.
Good job, nailed it. Yeah.
Yep. All right, moving on to Facebook. Sean Capri, if you could have a video game character as a child to raise as your own, which would you choose?
Oh my gosh.
I think raising the villager from Animal Crossing would be great because he does his chores, is responsible with debt, and finds buried treasure in the yard.
That's hilarious.
Great.
that's awesome.
Oh, man, I don't know.
I wouldn't mind raising the kid from Ni no Kuni. I thought he was a good kid. Seemed like a good kid. I don't remember his name right now. Oliver? Oliver was a good kid. And he, had that magic thing going on. I liked Oliver. Hall?
Well, I was going to say, like, Clem is like a really strong character, for instance.
Yeah.
Oh,
If there were ever a zombie apocalypse,
Yeah, I'd
You
want to
should
be
be
Clem.
Clem, yeah, exactly.
Clem's good.
It'd be weird, like full-grown man, I guess, like in the game, hiding behind a poor little girl.
Yep.
Like, aren't you supposed to be doing something? What happened to chivalry?
Dude.
Like, this is a zombie apocalypse. Chivalry is dead.
All right, Louis Armstrong.
Exactly. I see trees of green, red roses too.
That's good, man.
Oh, thanks.
Very good. I would pick Louis Armstrong. No, I'm kidding. No, I kind of like your answer, Hall. I think Clem would be good because, she's a survivor, and I think that's good. And just for giggles, I think Claptrap would be kind of fun just because he's a funny guy. And he'd be hilarious, but I think he'd, destroy everything.
Yeah, sadly, he's not a human kid.
Right.
Well, I didn't know if that was part of the answer.
No, it didn't matter.
Yeah,
it's his character.
Whatever. Claptrap.
I like Claptrap, too.
Nice.
All right, moving on to Twitter. Stephen Blair at Taiping1993. Is there a game franchise that is loved by many but not by yourself? For example, people love Borderlands, but I can't get into it. Stephen, what is wrong with you, sir?
Yeah, Stephen.
Do not back
Rather,
up
maybe
Gabe
it's
like
what's
that.
wrong with us.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know.
Exactly.
We're damaged goods.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gabe, I can see that being your answer with Borderlands.
No, my answer is BioShock.
Hey, there you go.
Like, I just don't like those first two games. I didn't play the second one, actually.
Gabe.
I just don't like that first one. It's too carnival for me. I'm like, these people are freaking laughing and running on the ceiling, but then you do Infinite, and it's so different.
Yeah,
and
Infinite
it's
was beautiful.
so beautiful, and you're like, what the heck? But I get that it's a different world or whatever, but just for me, I didn't appreciate the BioShock first couple.
I think I like
I'm
BioShock
sorry.
1 and 2 better.
Better
Wow,
than
that's
Infinite?
crazy.
Than Infinite, yeah.
You didn't write a song about it. Yeah, so I can't tell.
I'm good.
That's
The
awesome.
bumper music.
Exactly. What about you guys? Hall?
I'm kind of blanking out here because there's some games that I play where I'm like, well, like the Batman games, for instance, they're great games and I played them and enjoyed them. But once it kind of opens up and you're doing the same kind of things that the game has taught you to do, I just kind of get bored with it.
Yeah.
But
I think you would say Assassin's Creed too, wouldn't you? You're not a huge Assassin's Creed.
I did the same thing with Assassin's Creed, the first one. Granted, I haven't played. Did I play any more? I don't think I've played any more since then. But basically, it was repetitive and it was just making you do the same things over and over again. And the story was cool. I was very interested in the story, but hours into playing the game, I was just like, I don't know if I want to do this.
Yep.
Yeah.
For me, it's Call of Duty. I have Modern Warfare 3, I think, and I'm like, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm not playing
that. I'm done. Good question. Jeff Swan, our boy Jeff, favorite fast food.
Ooh.
For me, it's Wendy's. I love me some vanilla smoothies, the vanilla frosty, and I usually get a spicy chicken sandwich.
I was gonna say Wendy's too, but I went to with James and Casey. Casey's from Geeks with Wives and Capes podcast.
How did that go, by the way? You got to meet up with them?
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, I got to sit down and talk with
That's awesome.
James
you being
Hardwick.
the ambassador was out and about again this week. That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Podcast collide.
Nice.
James is not with Geeks with Wives anymore, but Casey still is, and they're doing big things, and it's awesome. And I'm so happy and proud for those guys. They started after us, and they're doing their thing, and I love that. And that's
great.
That's what it's about. So shout outs to those guys. And we ate at In-N-Out, and that was freaking delicious. Yep. And but we don't have In-N-Out here, so I think I gotta go with
I thought
Wendy's
you were
as
going to
well.
say In-N-Out. When Chris and I went to California, we ate there, and it was great.
Yep.
Or went
Yeah,
to
of
San
course it is.
Francisco.
Oh,
San Francisco and California, two different places.
Right. Two completely different things.
exactly. It could feel like that.
That's great. Thanks, Jeff, for the question. Nathan.
Wait. Hall, did you say when? Were you going to say In-N-Out?
I was going to say Wendy's.
Nice.
In-N-Out is
okay.
good. If we had it around here, that may be my answer.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I
like
don't
Wendy's,
eat it
man.
enough.
Yeah, Wendy's is good.
Wendy's got good burgers, so I like them.
Well,
Yeah.
and Wendy's because Ohio represent.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nathan at Sith Nightmare, you are locked in a toy store accidentally after closing. Do you try to get out or do you party all night long? Shoot, man, I party all night long in that place. Toy store?
Do cell phones not exist yet?
Uh,
That would be the
We'll-
question.
we'll say no.
We'll say your cell phone has died.
Yes.
Okay. And by toy store, he must mean Toys R Us because that's the only one left, right?
Yes. Probably, yeah.
Yeah. I would say no. I would be trying to break up out that piece because that sounds like the beginning of a horror movie, and we all know
Yeah, it
exactly.
who dies.
Yeah.
It's
First
like
in
Toy
horror
Story
movies.
4, the toys turn on you.
Yeah, I would definitely move away from any of the dolls. That's for sure. I would avoid that section at
that'd
all
be
costs.
so
Creepy.
creepy.
That
Lord
would be
have
creepy.
mercy. Because you know that, like, you just figure, like, you know, your house settles at night and you hear, like, pop, crack.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm not trying to have that happen in a toy store
Yeah.
alone at night.
The toys
I don't
settle.
know. I think I'd still try and throw a party. But now you're scaring the crap out of me, so I may try and get out.
Exactly.
Gabe, it's 1982. You're locked in a KB Toys. What do you do?
Oh.
Roll around because I was born in 81.
There you go.
Roll around. There you go.
And then my parents
Perfect.
go to jail because I don't know if I'm going to make it through the night. And then I get raised on my own by myself and I get a huge amount of wealth and I become Batman.
There you go.
There you
Done.
go.
That's the
Perfect.
plan.
There it is.
I mean, Black Man.
Hey, I like that.
They were like, that's not an outfit.
Who are you?
Yeah.
I'm Black Man.
I'm Black Man. Like, all you did was throw on a do-rag. What kind of outfit is that? Like, hey.
Yeah, they're like, so you're a black man, yeah?
Yo,
And?
have you come to save the day or what's going on here?
Yeah. What's going on?
What are you trying to accomplish?
That's great.
Oh, I
Like,
hope
never
nobody was
mind.
taking a drink when you said that.
I know.
I have the afro pick as my signal in the sky. Oh man.
Oh,
They're
that's
like, you're
amazing.
bald. Why is your sign an afro pick?
It's a culture, man. It's a culture.
Yeah, exactly. Be like, well, because I made it back in the day, I just haven't changed it yet. I don't know how to change it to lotion for a bald head.
That's awesome.
All right.
All right. Josh Oakes at JP Oakes 1. What is something that each of you is absolutely terrible at? I love this question.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Man. I don't know. Somebody else go.
Gabe, go ahead.
Drawing. I can't draw. I really want to know how to draw. And
Yeah.
I mean, my handwriting is awful and drawing is just like when Stancil came over, he like drew some stuff on like the dry erase board for Amara and it was excellent.
Of course.
Like it was so good. I was like, oh my gosh, what the heck?
That's awesome.
I was like, did you just do that with one dry erase marker and a dry erase board? That doesn't make
That's
any
amazing.
sense. And I'm like, every time Amara wants me to draw, I'm like, look at this cube.
Yeah. Here's a
Cool.
stick figure.
Yeah, exactly. This is a circle.
And then she just says, I love you, Dad.
Exactly. Thank you for trying. And
I'm
for fighting
terrible.
crime at night.
I'm terrible at remembering names, but I have a new trick that has really helped me out.
Share it.
When you're introduced by someone, and they give you your name, you picture their name in like some sort of text, and then picture that name just exploding. It's really weird. Like Lauren told me this trick because she did it with something else too. I'm telling you, you try it next time. I swear to you. I swear to you, it'll work.
Hall sounded like a different person just
He
then.
totally
laughing that
did
hard.
because he just exploded. Lauren told me this trick. It was with something else. It was just like remembering something, and I applied it to
Like the dishes or something?
somebody's name. Like, and it totally works because like I meet new people at Merity's when I get a coffee all the time, and they're like, "Oh, hi, my name's Beth, whatever." So what I do is I go Beth, and I look at BETH, and then I look at it just blowing up, and it totally works because the next time I go back, I totally remember her name.
I hope you do the explosion sound out loud.
Yeah, of course.
It's like, hi, I'm
Beth.
Tim.
Hi, I'm Tim.
I'm crying.
You like that,
That's
Hall?
awesome.
You like
Try it.
that?
Rather,
I'm
did
telling you,
nobody
it'll-
tell you about the thing where they tell you your name and then you shake their hand and tell them their name back to them?
Nope.
Like, oh, nice to meet you, Carl. What does Carl do for a living?
Exactly.
because I would
you just have
forget
names exploding in your brain.
No, I forget their name.
That is so funny.
I want everybody to try it. Try it. I'm telling you, it'll work.
Oh, this is the hardest I've ever laughed.
That's a hard laugh. Okay, Hall, what are you bad at?
I wish I could
Besides
sing.
not laughing in your falsetto.
Right.
Nice. I wish I could sing, honestly.
Oh, there you go.
But
You can sing.
well, like that's the thing. Like
You can dance.
I write a lot of music, and I'm like, wow, I could probably sell a lot of this music better if I like could write melodies and sing them, but I can't.
Man, I wish
I
you
don't even
knew
know if I could
somebody
write
that
the
writes.
melodies. So.
I wish you knew somebody that wrote music and melody and lyric for a living.
Oh,
yeah,
I know.
unfortunately, I don't.
We should call.
Yeah, thanks.
I got. We should. We should
Just
call.
kidding, dude.
We should call Black Man. He'll come to our
Yeah,
rescue.
exactly. That sounds like a job for Black Man.
That's,
Let me tell you what, Black don't crack when he sings.
It sure doesn't.
that's amazing.
Now we all have to do is wait till nighttime for you to show my thing up in the clouds and I can show up.
Exactly.
Black, oh, you need a melody? I got you.
all right.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Yeah.
Black man.
That's great.
Black man. He's on the scene. Oh, yeah.
I can't beatbox, Gabe. You need to do that.
Oh, I got you. Too bad you don't know anybody that beatboxes for a living.
Nope.
No, I don't know anybody. Yeah.
Just the Black Man. Okay, Chalfie, at that Chalfie. Gabe, Alien Isolation, Evil Within, or Hot Sauce in the Eyes? You must pick one.
Oh, my gosh. Alien Isolation for sure.
There you go. Take that one. Okay, moving on. T-Juice at T215J. Hey, now go ahead and remember T-Juice and watch it explode, and you'll remember it next week. All right.
Is it T-E-A or T-E-E?
T-E-E-juice.
Well, Router, I think you're onto something.
I'm telling you. All right, here we go. Do you guys feel that digital games should cost the same as the physical copies?
No.
I don't. I don't think so either. I think you're paying for artwork, for DVD burn, all that stuff. I think digital should be at least 20% less.
I think that they should be the same price.
Really?
Yeah, because, they were already flirting with upping the price on us this generation. And anything that's going to keep them at this price point, I'll fight for. And I think that's one thing where they're probably making more money on the digital copies. So I don't mind them making more money and not raising the price on everything else. So if they all I'm saying is if 5 years from now, they're like, all right, we're going up to $75 because XYZ. I'm like, shoot, man, let's do 60 and go all digital. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I could not be more sure that would not happen.
Yeah,
upping the price?
Yeah, I don't think that'll.
No.
I think it's locked in. I think
Ever?
that's done.
It can't.
I don't think it'll ever go up.
Ever?
Nope.
Huh.
Ever?
I just don't. I don't think so because consumer demand shows in PC, for instance, you can buy a brand new game for $35 on day one. It is shown that consumer demand drives the price.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion.
And you're saying they've hit a sweet spot.
But I think with PC, they've kind of shown what a gamer feels comfortable paying most of the time is between I would say $35 and $60.
Yeah,
that's
I think
the sweet.
That's good.
Any more than that, I think I think that's a tough sell, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if you look at it statistically, I think more games are selling now than probably ever have. And I think it's just because they've hit that price adjusted for inflation. Because it's like I mentioned back in the Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64 era when games were $80 and they sold a lot less games. And then when PlayStation came out, they were able to drop the cost of manufacture. So they made games $40 and $50 and people ate them up. So
there you go.
Interesting.
I think it's just consumers have demanded that it just not go over 60. But then again, I guess there's a lot of fringe cases where, the hardened edition of Call of Duty will come out and it'll be $100 and people will buy it too. But they do it in such a limited run, so maybe it doesn't
That's
doesn't
what
really
pushes them to get those. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't see games ever going over 60, especially if they're going digital. If they're going digital, I only see them going down.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think with artwork, there is quite a bit of added expense when you have, graphic designers putting something together, having a physical copy. As much as I love that, I think just grabbing a digital should decrease the price quite a bit.
And it will, because they're on a physical copy. I think that the publishers and developers are working on like a 60% margin, maybe.
Yeah.
Like they're making 60% of that $60, I think. And this is obviously a question for Stancil or somebody who's actually, knee deep into that. But I mean, they're losing a lot of money on the physical copy, even through manufacturer, like Router had mentioned. So I think that with digital, they'll be able to drop the price a little bit. If they're say everything was to go digital in a few years, and all of a sudden they're like, wow, we're selling like millions less copies of these games. Like, what are we going to do? Drop the price.
Yeah. That's
nice.
True. And plus, you also have the price of brick and mortar stores too, and your distributors. They always take a cut of it as well. So
yeah, that would put GameStop out of business. They went all digital.
There's the opportunity. There's the opportunity for flash sales too. Like once you're controlling everything, like Sony, for instance, let's say a first party game, they've published the game and they're selling it through their store. Like at that point, there's really like the overhead is so minimal.
Yeah,
that
they have the leeway
could kind
to
of do
change
whatever
it.
they want.
Exactly.
Well, say you get a spike at the beginning. So say like you release a game and it's $60 and you get a huge spike at the beginning from all the people that are going to buy it day one anyway, and you kind of go down into your run rate. Let's say 2 or 3 months in, all of a sudden you do a flash sale for $25 or $30 digital, and all of a sudden you get a spike again. So this is kind of the way that companies have started to figure out that this works. Steam, for instance, is a really good example of that. I can't tell you how many times it's been like 3 months into a game's release and I see a game go for $10.
Yeah, you're like, oh, yeah.
Yep.
Man,
nice.
Well, thank
really
you guys
good.
for all your questions. That is great. We got to get up out of here.
Let's do this.
We appreciate you guys talking
Just
back and
imagine
forth
our
with us.
podcast name exploding.
Yes.
That's right.
And then tell your friends, be like, hey, think of this in your mind. Married to the games. And they're
Imagine
like, okay.
a world where everyone explodes.
Now explode the name.
Now blow them up.
Does that work with
exactly.
faces too? Like you see somebody's face and then you explode it in their brain so you remember it?
Yeah. That's what the title of the episode should be. Married to the Games, episode 108, Explode the Name.
Explode the name. I like it.
Thank you guys so much. We want to leave you guys with a question of the week. Has a game ever ruined your day?
Ooh.
I remember back when I was in high school, let's say I got up the time change happened and I would get up an hour early because my body was used to getting up at that time, and I would get some gaming in, and maybe I was getting rubber banded like a beast on Blitz or something like that, and it would ruin my whole day, and I go to school bummed or whatever. Has a game ever ruined your day? Router or Hall, you guys have anything off the top of your head?
MLB The Show 12.
Why is that?
That game would not let me win ever.
I hate that. That's the worst.
Like the rubber bandy thing, I would be 6 up, and they all of a sudden they'd be like, grand slam, home run.
Right. They're like, how
ground
do you
rule
get
double.
8 points out of that grand slam?
Exactly.
You're like, this is ridiculous.
Gosh, that game was terrible with rubber banding.
Oh my gosh.
For me, it was Dead Space 2 because there was a level that I just could not. I spent an hour and a half on, and I just gave up. And then the rest of that morning, I was just pissed.
I love that so much.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
It's so frustrating.
Thank you guys. 108 in the books. We're going to keep it moving for you guys. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for listening. I'm your boy, Gabe Patillo. That is Tim Router. That is Timothy Hall. And we are married to the games, and we are up out this thing.